administrators against betraying professional ethics. Russia arrests German woman over bomb blasts allegation.
And on business news tonight, a petrol price drop in doubt after Hormuz disruption. Details of these and more when I return on the business segment of the news. I am Senior Tabaru. Stay with us.
And on sports news tonight, Bayern Munich clinches 35th Bundesliga title with 4 games to spare. To bring you details of this and more on the sports segment of the news, I am Emmanuel Dasalu. Stay with us.
Your present circumstances don't determine where you can go. They merely determine where you start. And you can watch us live on Facebook at OGTV and Ogun State Television, YouTube at OGTV Abeokuta, and on OGTV website www.ogtv.com.ng/live. For the latest news and reports, check us on these platforms: X at OGTV, Instagram at Ogun State Television, or download OGTV app on Apple Store and Google Play Store. Leaders and stakeholders of the All Progressives Congress APC in Ogun East Senatorial District have unanimously endorsed Ogun State Governor Prince Dapo Abiodun as their consensus candidate for the 2027 senatorial election. The endorsement was announced by Senator Leko Mustafa at a gathering of political leaders held at Adiola Udutola Hall in Ijebu-Ode. The gathering brought together a broad coalition of party leaders and grassroots representatives from across the district. Governor's Office correspondent Ganiu Yusuf now reports.
Those who are support that Prince Abiodun we are adopted as our consensus candidate for the Senatorial District election in 2027. Please say aye.
The unanimous endorsement of Ogun State Governor Prince Dapo Abiodun as the APC consensus candidate for the 2027 senatorial election attracted members of the Governor's Advisory Council, former and serving local government chairmen, past and present lawmakers at both state and national levels, councillors from all wards in the district, as well as women and youth leaders. Speaking on behalf of the stakeholders, former senator from Ogun East, Leko Mustafa, says the decision was driven by a shared conviction that Governor Abiodun possesses the capacity to represent the district effectively at the Senate.
Well, if you look at what he has done in Ogun State, we are all living witnesses to what has been happening in Ogun State in the past decades. And if you look at what he has succeeded in doing in Ogun State, there's nothing we can do than to compensate him and further encourage him to represent us at the National Assembly. And as a former National Assembly member myself, I believe that he has all it takes to represent us, and I know that surely he will represent us very well.
In his remarks, Secretary to the State Government, Tokunbo Talabi, notes that the endorsement is historic and unanimous, adding that the governor's track records in governance and party cohesion make him deserving of the Senate seat.
So glad that today we had another session, which is also historical, that everybody, over 2,000 people in this hall today, unanimously agreed that Dapo is the rightful person to take that senatorial seat. I don't think anything can be louder than that. And these things are coming from the hearts of ordinary people. It's not contrived. It is the wish and the desire of the populace of Ogun East to say, this man is, let us give honor to whom honor is due. He has done so much for us as a state, even in the East.
Some stakeholders also affirm the belief that Prince Dapo Abiodun is the right person for the position.
When you are doing well, the only way we can tell our governor and his appointees is that wherever he's going, we are with him and we always stand by him.
prominent figures in attendance included former senators Benga Kaka and Lekon Mustafa, Ogun East APC chairman Adedoyin Adeleke, and some party leaders and some party elders Kola Ogunjobi, Bayo Dayo, Drojaye, Beba Temolu, James Dino, among others. Yusuf Ganiyu, OGTV News.
Political office holders and party leaders from Ogun West have pledged their support for the All Progressives Congress 2027 gubernatorial consensus candidate, Senator Solomon Adiola. Leading the leaders in the pledge of loyalty and support were the Deputy Governor of Ogun State, Engineer Noimat Salako-Idele, and the 3 representatives of the district at the House of Representatives. Details are in this package.
Having been chosen as the gubernatorial consensus candidate of the All Progressives Congress in Ogun State, the senator representing Ogun West, Senator Solomon Adiola, kick-started consultation from his senatorial zone as a way of securing the support of his people before moving to other zones. Deputy Governor of the state, Engineer Nemo Salako-Idele, led other governorship aspirants from Ogun West in reaffirming their loyalty and support for the candidature of Senator Adiola, popularly known as Yayi, calling on leaders and members of APC to unite and brace up for the challenges ahead.
My prayer is that God will grant our incoming governor, Senator Solomon Olamileko Adiola, the wisdom, the strength, and the resources required not only to meet these expectations, but to exceed them.
We have the connection to attract development of the state. In our individual units and wards and local government, ẹ jẹ́ ká fi eléyìí sẹ́gbẹ̀ẹ́ tí wọ́n là ń rán bí àwọn tó kù náà máa bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí rántí wọn. We must as a people come out en masse, accept this as our project, not just in the Olamileko project. Reach out to everybody who goes to the section. Reach out to everybody who goes to the list.
Other stakeholders, leaders, and office holders from the zone lend their voices in calling for united front to ensure that the ultimate goal is realized.
We express our strength in the number of votes that we cast to ensure that this government is sustained.
Minister of State for Health and Social Welfare, Dr. Kunle Salako, at whose instance the meeting was convened, harped on the need for everything to be done in ensuring that the overwhelming support of other zones is secured.
It is when all of us play our role that we can actually win the trophy and Yayi can collect the trophy on behalf of all of us.
Senator Adiola thanked his people for putting their trust in him with an assurance never to disappoint them.
I put God first in everything that I do. I'm a fair-minded person. I know what is right. What we are doing here today, everybody is on board without leaving anybody behind.
The APC governorship candidates then held another meeting with all the traditional rulers in Ogun West, led by Olu of Ilaru and paramount ruler of Yoland, Oba Kehinde Olugbenle, to receive their blessings.
A political group, Yayi Connect Nigeria and Diaspora, has declared its support for the governorship ambition of Senator representing Ogun West Senatorial District, Olamileko Adiola, popularly known as Yayi. In the same vein, the group also threw its weight behind the second-term admission of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, citing ongoing reforms and policies aimed at repositioning the country's economy. Bumi Adimu completes the story.
Yayi Connect Nigeria and Diaspora, a political pressure group with deep roots both locally and in the diaspora, is stepping up its game while its members are loyalists of the All Progressives Congress APC. Their primary mission is clear: to mobilize unwavering support for Senator Solomon Olamilekan Adeola, popularly known as Yayi. Additionally, the group is firmly committed to the re-election bid of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. The recent gathering served as a formal launchpad, inaugurating stakeholders and establishing executive structures across all local government areas to ensure grassroots readiness ahead of the polls. The initiative, birthed by the Director General and Convener, Honorable Ola Olayode, also saw the official appointment of Comrade Akindele Akeju as the General Coordinator. The event wasn't strictly about politics. It was spiced up with a humanitarian touch. Attendees benefited from a free medical outreach where checkups were conducted and essential drugs were distributed at no cost. Speaking at the event, Honorable Olayode emphasized that the group is fully prepared to mobilize thousands of supporters for both Senator Adeola's governorship ambition and President Tinubu's return to office.
Becoming a governor will just be an icing on a cake. He has always been a leader, a great and wonderful person. So that's why I'm here. I flew all the way from the US to be part of this great occasion. And as a convener of Yayi Connect, we are solidly behind him. We support him. We believe that he is the man for the job.
Other stakeholders present echoed this sentiment, urging residents to join the movement for what they described as a new Ogun State.
Is for everybody to go out now and get their registration cards. Mobilize all the people in their areas to go and get their PVC card. Because without the PVC card, there's no results.
Of our Yayi Connect Nigeria and diaspora could have a relationship with the Central, so that if opportunity will come up in Central, so that he can be recognized, because he purposely came back from America to come and use the template that they are running in developed country, so that we can use to rub mind with the little template, the old template, let me put it that way.
Taking the advocacy a step further, the team paid a visit to the Ogun State office of the Inter-Party Advisory Council of Nigeria. The move was designed to intimate the council of the activities and prepare the ground for a scheduled visit by their principal, Senator Adeola Bumiadigun. OGTV News.
In a move to support Senator Olamilekan Adeola, the Ogun APC consensus governorship candidate, a businesswoman, Omo Tinuolawa Onowo, has reached out to vulnerable people in Ogun Central Senatorial District through a humanitarian initiative known as Ajumoshe Yayi. The initiative, which featured the distribution of foodstuffs, clothing and household items to vulnerable individuals and families, was held in Abeokuta, and it drew a large number of beneficiaries and community members. The organizer described the project as a demonstration of compassion and collective responsibility, noting that the gesture was designed to complement ongoing efforts to improve the welfare of the people. Olaide Oloye Sholuade reports.
Omo Tinuolawa Olorunwo, a businesswoman in Ogun and Lagos State, known for her commitment to grassroots development, has continued to impact life through various support initiatives aimed at improving the welfare of Nigerians. Our third intervention under the Ajumoshe Yayi project featured distribution of food items, clothing, and household items to residents, with a large number of beneficiaries, including women, the elderly, and the youth. The initiator appreciated the APC family in Ogun State for the choice of Senator Olamilekan Adeola, while also describing the initiative as a platform to give back to the society and support the Yayi movement.
I want to use this opportunity to thank the sitting governor, Prince Dapo Abiodun, for giving Yayi a chance to prove himself. I want to use this opportunity to somebody I call my mentor, Senator Ibikunle Amosu. Name this group Ajumoshe Yayi Group. I cannot do it alone. We have to do it together, collectively. So I want everyone to have the spirit of being among, so that we can work in one accord for Senator Olamilekan Yayi to achieve his goal.
Stakeholders unequivocally commended the initiative. describing it as timely and impactful, while urging for its continuity and expansion to reach more communities across Ogun Central.
This is third empowerment that she's doing today. Because of what Yaya has done in Lagos State, he moved and said he wants to support him. That's why he's doing anything. The good work of Yaya has spoken for him.
I'd like to thank my sister, Chief Mrs. Tinola, for this great initiative. It's a very great one and we are so proud of her. She doesn't have any political office, and rather than she's from Ogun State, Abeokuta precisely, and she's doing this for the people. So it's something worthy of emulation.
I'm happy to see someone else who is not even in government doing this kind of thing. Very good initiative, very nice initiatives. If everybody can be doing this, it's a way of giving back to the society.
Beneficiaries expressed their appreciation for the gesture, noting that the food items received would help ease the burden and cater for their immediate needs.
Yayi, thank you so much. God bless you. I really thank the Ajumoshe Yayi and the gift they give to us. I really appreciate that. We are grateful and this is very huge for us.
The Ajumoshe Yayi project is expected to continue in phases, with plans to extend similar interventions to other parts of the senatorial district as part of efforts to enhance social welfare and community development. Olaide Oloye Sholuade, OGTV News.
The Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, has announced the assumption of office of Dr. Mutiu Agboke as the new resident electoral commissioner, REC, for Ondo State. In a statement signed by the Administrative Secretary, Tadeshi Adenike, the Commission confirmed that Dr. Agboke arrived at the state headquarters in Akure to begin his tenure. Dr. Agboke, a distinguished legal scholar and election management expert, brings 2 decades of legal and administrative experience to the role. Called to the Nigerian bar in 2006, he previously served as a member of the Ogun State Independent Electoral Commission, OGTV, from 2012 to 2016. A veteran of the electoral process, Dr. Agboke has a proven track record in the field, having served as REC in Ondo, Oyo, and Osho states. His portfolio includes the successful supervision of both the 2019 and 2023 general elections. The appointment is expected to provide steady leadership for the Commission's operations in the state, leveraging Dr. Agboke's extensive history with electoral dynamics. Still ahead on the news, NAFDAC raises alarm over suspected counterfeit drugs, or rather toothpaste, in circulation. Details of these and more will be served when we return. We know that you are still there, and in case you're just joining us, you're watching the comprehensive news package for the day on OGTV Abeokuta. As Nigeria continues to strengthen its democratic process, youth participation in politics is gaining renewed attention, with many young people now taking active roles in governance and decision-making. With youths making up over 60% of the nation's population, stakeholders say their growing involvement is shaping policies, promoting innovation, and driving sustainable development across the country. Olaide Oloye Sholuade again reports.
In recent years, there has been a significant rise in youth engagement in politics, from elective positions to advisory roles, and active participation in policy discussions at various levels of government. This development, observers say, reflects a shift towards inclusiveness, as more young Nigerians step forward to contribute their ideas and leadership skills to national development. Speaking with OGTV, the special advisor to the Ogun State Governor on Youth Development, Comrade Olamide Lawal, commended the increasing opportunities available to young people, noting that many youth are now being given platforms to express themselves and influence policies.
There are many young people that are in this government that are doing very, very fine. Because the governor incorporated them into the system, that is why they are being exposed and their expertise is being used for the development of the state. So I always tell them that young people should get involved, get your voter's card. Politics is for all of us. Don't let anybody use you. Use yourself. Be involved in the politics. Be involved in what is happening even within your locality, within your community, even within your house.
The Ogun State Chairman of the National Youth Council of Nigeria, Akola Wale Shoremi, highlighted the growing awareness among youth, stating that more young Nigerians are becoming political conscious and actively engaging beyond election periods.
I particularly too, I'm a very young person. Aside from my office as the youth chairman for Ogun State, I also coordinate the state task force on human trafficking, where we have eminent personalities, people of reasonable calibers. So Ogun State government, through the administration of His Excellency, has been doing a lot of efforts to ensure that our young people are being promoted in the area of politics, and to also give us leverage as well in terms of our governance. So it has been commendable, and of course we can only wish that we have an improved level of participation as well.
Officials also reaffirmed their effort to further empower young people through leadership development program, entrepreneurship initiative, and inclusive governance structure.
The youth needs to understudy the elders, but at the same time, we have been able to contribute our quota to development of the country with our skills, with our energy that we have in the country. And I want to tell you today that if youth are given an opportunity to serve at the larger stage, if youth were given the opportunity, with or without no supervision, and with the right momentum and with the right tools to work with, I will tell you today, the future of this country is entrusting leadership power to the youth. And
it was also noted that the increasing visibility of youth in politics is a positive sign for Nigeria's democratic future, which calls for sustained support for policies that enhance youth participation.
Sensitize the youth on the importance of being part of the process. It's not enough to complain and be on the sideline, but it's important that you are playing the game and you are at the table when it's being done.
As Nigeria continues its democratic journey, the rising involvement of young people in politics offers hope for more inclusive and progressive society, where the voices of the younger generation contribute meaningfully to nation building. Olaide Oloye Sholuade, OGTV News.
In a bid to reposition its veterinary services department for improved performance, the Ogun State government has commenced the renovation of veterinary facilities across the state. The Commissioner for Agriculture and Food Security, Honorable Bulu Utomo, made this known during a visit to the newly renovated veterinary service clinic in Ota, noting that it was the first time the facility will receive a facelift since its establishment in the 1970s. According to him, the administration of Prince Dapo Abiodun is committed to ensuring that workers operate in a conducive environment, equipped with modern facilities and necessary tools to enhance service delivery.
We are concluding elevation of the veterinary hospital in Ota and as well in Ijebu-Ode. Very soon we will commence that of Ilaro, Ikene and Abeokuta. We are currently of Ogun State to use our government-owned veterinary hospital because we have adequate human capital. We have human capital to support the animals and to ensure that animals have proper health and they do not spread disease. In Ogun State, we have 5 veterinary hospitals under the Ministry of Agriculture, and by the benevolence of His Excellency, Prince Dapo Abiodun, these veterinary hospitals are going through innovation, and they have not gone through innovation since they were constructed in the 70s. This is the first time that this particular institution will be seeing a facelift. We have changed the rules, we have ensured that they have adequate work environment, a fantastic work environment to work in, and to have adequate furniture and fittings and also equipment to be able to treat our animals, and to be able to ensure that zoonotic diseases are prevented from the populace.
He added that the renovation underscores the fact that the present administration's Yellow Revolution is not limited to schools, primary healthcare centers, and housing, but also extends to the agricultural sector. The Commissioner further warned individuals encroaching on government assets to desist, stressing that defaulters will face appropriate sanctions. Nigeria is beginning to see the early results of a broad set of economic reforms introduced by President Bola Tinubu's administration. Officials say the country is gradually moving towards a more stable and resilient economy. This position was presented by the Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister of the Economy, Wali Edu, during a press interaction held on the sidelines of the spring meetings of the World Bank and the International Monetary Fund, IMF, in Washington, D.C. Edu explained that the policy direction adopted since 2023 reflects a deliberate shift away from short-term interventions to deeper changes intended to reposition the economy for sustained growth. According to him, the reforms are structured to stand the test of time and better shield the country from shocks in the global economy. He said the international environment remains difficult, with many countries grappling with tighter financial conditions, trade disruptions, and uncertainties affecting exports. Within this setting, he noted that Nigeria is focusing on maintaining discipline in its economic management to build a more reliable foundation for growth. The minister said recent changes in the foreign exchange market and the removal of fuel subsidies are central to the government's strategy. He explained that these steps are gradually correcting imbalances that are built up over the years and are helping the economy respond more effectively to external pressures. The National Agency for Food, Drug Administration and Control has warned that the public about the circulation of unregistered and suspected counterfeit Colgate toothpaste. In a notice issued via its ex-handle, the agency said its post-marketing surveillance directorate received a complaint about the distribution of the product in Kaduna State, prompting an investigation. NAFDAC said its officials visited the outlet where the items were being sold and discovered 2 suspected counterfeit products branded as Colgate Tactics Virgil 100 grams and Colgate Tech Herbal 100 grams. NAFDAC added that the items had been removed from circulation while investigations were ongoing to identify and track distributors. According to the agency, the affected products include Colgate Scriba Dental Herbal 100 grams and Colgate Tactics Virgil 100 grams, both of which bear no batch numbers or NAFDAC registration numbers. The agency said all its zonal directors and state coordinators have been directed to intensify surveillance and mop up the counterfeit products wherever they are found. It advised distributors, retailers, and consumers to exercise caution and verify the authenticity and physical condition of products before purchase and use. The Chief Justice of Nigeria, CJN, Justice Kudirat Kekereekun, has urged court administrators in the country to remain committed to their professional ethics as a way of sustaining public trust in the judicial system. Justice Kekereekun noted that the effectiveness, credibility, and integrity of the judiciary depend not only on the conduct of judges, but also on the professionalism and ethical conduct of those who sustain the administrative machinery of the courts. The CJN spoke in Abuja during the opening session of a national workshop on judicial ethics for judicial administrators organized by the National Judicial Institute. While stating that judicial administrators remain indispensable partners in the administration of justice, the CJN noted that the judiciary functions as a single institutional ecosystem. She said within the single institutional ecosystem, the judges interpret and apply the law, while judicial administrators ensure that justice moves, that cases are scheduled, records preserved, processes managed, resources accounted for, and court users properly served. The CJN, who stressed the importance of judicial administrators to the effective functioning of the court system, said they must exercise vigilance, professionalism, and sound judgment in navigating the digital environment. Nigeria's foreign policy is coming under renewed scrutiny, with calls for a strategic rethink to better reflect national interest and citizens' welfare. A professor of history and international relations, Kenneth Woko, makes this call at the second inaugural lecture of Macpherson University, Seriki Shotayo, Ogun State. Taiwo Fabaju reports.
The second inaugural lecture of Macpherson University draws scholars and dignitaries from across Ogun, Lagos, and other southwest states, as well as beyond. Professors, academicians, members of the University Council, and traditional rulers gathered within the institution's serene environment to engage in intellectual discourse. With the theme, Nigeria's peacemaking and regional security engagement since 1960, balancing national interest and international commitment, the guest lecturer, Professor Kenneth Woko, calls for a realignment of Nigeria's foreign policy. He says government must prioritize the collective interests of its citizens while engaging in international diplomacy. According to him, Nigeria's involvement in global peacekeeping and regional security operations carries significant economic and diplomatic implications. However, poor political will, corruption, and economic instability continue to weaken the nation's capacity to effectively address its internal security challenges. Professor Nwoko emphasizes the need for Nigeria to carefully weigh its international obligations against the well-being of its citizens, noting that public trust and support remain critical to sustaining such agreements.
That the nation has suffered significant material, financial, and human losses as a result of this engagement. After spending billions of dollars and losing hundreds of its soldiers, the nation is perceived to have lost more than it gained. Therefore, it is not surprising that more citizens, critics, and scholars are calling for a shift in the country's big brother stance in West Africa, advocating instead for a focus on the welfare of its citizens.
Guests described the lecture as timely and thought-provoking, urging the federal government to place the welfare of Nigerians above external commitment.
So that there should be peace. I'm very happy indeed for the exposure which is going on. Those are going out, but the problem we are having is left to our government to find some solution to abolish what past incidents that have been happening.
The Vice Chancellor of Macpherson University reiterates the institution's commitment to hosting impactful academic engagements that contribute to national development. The highlight of the event is the decoration of the guest lecturer. Taiwo Fabaju, OGTV News.
Amid growing debates on social media and in the public spaces, some Nigerians have continued to push the narrative that education is a scam, arguing that academic qualifications no longer guarantee financial success. Ayodeji Tamari Oluwumi in this report takes on members of the public who expressed mixed reactions, with some insisting that many graduates remain unemployed despite years of schooling, while others blamed the country's economic structure rather than the value of education itself. However, a larger number of respondents dismissed the claim as misleading, stressing that education remains a vital tool for personal development, critical thinking, and societal growth.
A general myth that education is a scam is gradually metamorphosing into a reality of modern-day world. Though common among the youth, the Gen Z's age bracket, Nigerians believed this instant is caused by many factors, ranging from parental negligence, societal decadence, to drop in spiritual essence. The overrating of TV reality shows, which attract handsome rewards over academic excellence, has grossly eroded crave for education.
That assertion that education is a scam on its own. A scam to defraud the unaware citizen. A scam to draw those that couldn't see the future into ruin. So education can never be a scam. What we need to change is our perception about education. Education is life.
We love money. We cherish modernity, and we always prefer this syndrome of get rich quickly. And because of that, people are taking different and wrong initiatives at ensuring they are wealthy and at ensuring that they are relevant in the society.
The implication is what we can all begin to see in our society, whereby people who are not of sound mind taking over from those who ought to be at the helm of affairs. And the implication on the society is that the people who have sufficient capacity are not being privileged to assume the position of leadership, which will, directly or indirectly have a beneficial impact on the well-being of the people.
The resultant effect of this myth, education is a scam, can be said to have significantly contributed to the increasing numbers of out-of-school children in the society. Respondents believed it is the duty of guardians, parents, the society, the religious bodies and the government to jointly tackle this menace.
What could be done is about value reorientation. That it is high time our youth should shun the idea of soft money. You need to work to earn. That orientation has to come.
The religious institutions to have a great role to play in tailoring the minds of the congregants, and they must let them know the teachings of their faith.
We are to begin look at how we can do more advocacy, public enlightenment, sensitization, awareness raising. So when we're able to bring stakeholders together to discuss these issues, then we can all begin look at how we can address this thing holistically.
If there is an assertion and the stakeholders in that particular field fail to speak out, those that are hearing it will believe that what they were saying is actually correct. So there should be jingles all around. Let people know that education is not a scam, education is actually life.
With responses so far, it is safe to say education plays a vital role in individual and societal development, drives economic growth, promotes social development, and contributes to global progress. Ayodeji Tomori Olumumi, OGTV News.
The family of Ajibawo has officially announced the transition to eternal life of their patriarch, Dr. Oluyemisi Roland Ajibawo, who passed away at the age of 72. A dedicated husband, father, grandfather, brother, and uncle, Dr. Ajibawo was a respected figure whose life was defined by service and commitment to his family and community. In a statement, the family detailed these burial arrangements to honor his legacy. Christian wake is scheduled for Tuesday, April 21st at the Cathedral Hall, Abeokuta, starting at 4 p.m. Burial service holds on Wednesday, 22nd April 2026 at the Cathedral of St. Peter's, Abeokuta at 11 in the morning. Let's now join Simeat Abaru at our business studios for some business reports.
Thank you for joining the business segment of the news. The decision by Iran to reclose the Strait of Hormuz has dampened the hopes that fuel prices would crash in Nigeria. The Strait of Hormuz was opened on Friday following a ceasefire deal between Iran and the United States, but barely 24 hours later, Iran reclosed the strait, calling the decision a response to a continued blockade of its port by the United States. The Iranian military on Saturday said control of the strategic waterway through which 20% of globally traded oil transit had returned to its previous state, with reports saying Iranian gunboats fired at a merchant vessel as it attempted to cross. Few marketers had earlier projected that petrol prices could drop from the current 1,250 naira to about 900 naira when the strait was opened on Friday. The spokesman of the Petroleum Products Retail Outlet Owners Association of Nigeria, Joseph Ibede, said that the prices of crude oil had crashed following the reopening of the strait. Nigeria exported 55.39 million barrels of crude oil in the first 2 months of 2026, even as the Dangote Petroleum Refinery continues to struggle with inadequate domestic feedstock supply. According to the latest data from the Central Bank of Nigeria, the country shipped out 31.31 million barrels in January and 24.04 million barrels in February. In January, crude production averaged 1.46 million barrels per day, with export at 1.01 million barrels per day. In February, production fell to 1.31 million barrels per day, while export averaged 0.86 million barrels per day. Total crude production for the 2 months stood at 81.94 million barrels, meaning that 26.55 million barrels were left behind for local refineries in the first 2 months of 2026. The International Monetary Fund has endorsed Nigeria's bank recapitalization, noting that stronger capital buffers are enhancing resilience, stabilizing the financial system, and positioning the economy against global shocks. The International Monetary Fund has recognized the strategic importance of Nigeria's recently concluded bank recapitalization exercise, stating that the program is already yielding positive results. The fund noted that the initiative implemented by the Central Bank of Nigeria under the leadership of Olayemi Cardoso was a timely and appropriate policy decision, particularly against the backdrop of persistent volatility in global oil supply. The federal government, through the Nigerian Electricity Management Services Agency, has raised the alarm over the increasing number of fire incidents linked to improperly installed rooftop solar photovoltaic systems across the country. As Nigeria's power sector continues to operate below expectations, many Nigerians are turning to solar to escape blackout. However, cases of fire outbreaks from rooftop solar panels are becoming a source of concern to both the government and citizens. In a strongly worded public notice, NEMSA expressed serious safety concerns, noting that many of the reported incidents were associated with poor workmanship, the use of substandard materials, the absence of protective devices, and non-compliance with technical standards and regulations. And finally, the Transmission Company of Nigeria has declared a force majeure on the Ikeja West Oshogbo 330 kV transmission line after a severe rainstorm knocked down a critical tower, raising fresh concerns about the vulnerability of Nigeria's power infrastructure to extreme weather. Force majeure refers to an unforeseen event beyond one's control, such as a storm or disaster, that prevents someone from fulfilling their obligations. The development, which occurred on Thursday, April 16, 2026, affected one of the major transmission corridors responsible for evacuating bulk electricity across parts of the southwest. The transmission company announced the development in a statement and signed by its General Manager, Public Affairs, Ndidi Mba. And with that report, we've come to the end of business news today. Many thanks for being a part of it. Back to Uluwale for the segment of the news.